Hello, and welcome to Let's Play Spellcasting 101. I apologize in advance that I might be a bit more nasal or sniffy than usual, because I'm getting allergies or whatever. But yeah, so we left off, and we are, basically at 4 o'clock, I believe. Yeah, at 4 o'clock is when Ethics 101 starts, so that will be the next class that we go to. For now, we'll just type in wait. And we wait. Oh, there you go. A bell rings, signifying the start of the late afternoon class. The lecture hall quickly fills with students. I understand there are a few new faces in the class, some late transferees, so let me give a brief intro. This is Ethics 101, and I'm Professor Hopping Turtle. Alright, so now we know we can take notes. This course will give the basic ethical framework you'll need for a lifetime of sorcery, but more than that, it will teach you some of the basic social skills you'll need to mesh into a world of non-sorcerers. We'll cover a lot of deadly serious topics, but we'll have some fun as well. So now we listen. Let's review the last topic from last Thursday. Who can tell us the 6 stages in the life cycle of a good restaurant? Yes, you in the dark brown cloak. Alright, so, pay attention to this, because this, in the second half of the game, a lot of these become important. So this is fun. The Stage 1, the restaurant opens. Stage 2, the golden stage. The food's great, the price is low, and it's never crowded. Stage 3, the restaurant gets very crowded as word spreads. Yes, correct. And who can finish up? Over there, you in the black and red tunic. Stage 4, the restaurant raises prices and cuts portions in order to cash in on their success. Stage 5, people stop going. Stage 6, the restaurant closes. Yes, very good. You'll find that every good restaurant follows these 6 stages, although the time scale will vary greatly. Now let's move on to some of the exercises I gave you to do over the weekend. We'll start with case number 7, the cheated enchanter. Here we learn of a 3rd level enchanter equipped with Lifwad, a spell of pickpocketing. He is visiting an unfamiliar village and has purchased a meal of lamb stew and potatoes, only to discover that the lamb meat is tree bark and the potatoes are small brown stones. The enchanter knows that the constable and judge in the village are crooked and in the pay of the cheating merchant. Should the enchanter ignore the swindle? Should he report it to the constable? Or should he use the Lifwad spell to reclaim his silver? Let's see some hands. Yes, you in the orange robe with the pink stripes. He should use the Lifwad spell. It's the only way he could get justice in this case. Wrong. Remember number 3 of the cardinal rules of sorcery ethics. A sorcerer must never use magic to obtain the property of others, even if he perceives that property to be rightly his. Let's look at case number 2, the masquerading mage. Here we meet a sorcerer on a mission for the king. He is traveling incognito, and his mission is to obtain a newly developed spice to make celery dip for an upcoming banquet. The sorcerer learns of a dying girl whom he has the power to save, but only by revealing his identity. He doesn't believe that revealing his identity will prevent him from completing his mission. Should he save the girl? I see a hand in the back. The person in the yellow cape with the purple polka dots. The professor continues babbling. The guy should definitely save the girl. No, 100 times no. A mission for the king, no matter how seemingly trivial, takes absolute priority over everything else, even if it be the life and death matter. Who are we to judge the true importance of the king's celery dip in the scheme of things? Okay, how about case number 8, the wooing wizards. This case is about a pair of sorcerers who are vying for the hand of the same maiden. One, a 4th level sorcerer, learns that his rival, a 3rd level sorcerer, is using magic spells to influence the emotions of the maiden. The sorcerer has several options. How should he proceed? Anyone? I'll have to pick on someone. How about you, the tall fellow in the metallic green bathing trunks? I guess I'd say the 4th level sorcerer ought to use the stronger spells to counteract the meddling of the 3rd level sorcerer. After all, the other guy started it. Absolutely, positively, 100% wrong. The unethical conduct of the rival does not justify similarly unethical conduct, not one iota. The proper course is to inform the young lady of the actions of the rival. Furthermore, the use of magic spells against an uninformed and unwilling person is a first-class violation of the ethical code. The rival should be reported to the International Board of Sorcery Certification for probable revocation of his spellbook license. Revocation of a spellbook license is permanent, although it can be appealed to a subcommittee of the IBSC after 4 years. Only 3 times in the last 100 years has a revocation been overturned by this subcommittee. And that's enough for today. On Thursday, we're going to break into smaller groups for some role-playing exercises. I'm not sure if that actually happens. There might only be like one of each class. I forget how it works exactly. For next week, I want you to read and research more case studies. Case number 12, the theatrical thaumaturge. Case number 13, the spiteful spellmeister. And case number 15, the missing mouse and the mumbling magician. One other thing. We're going to have a guest lecturer next Tuesday, Don Weeping Hippo, the founder of Weeping Hippo Industries. Don't miss it. The bell rings and you finish taking notes. Alright, so let's read our notes. So, it's gonna say, so now here's our F101 notes. 6 stages of restaurant. They're all there. Time scale varies. Number 7, cheated inch. Level 3, cheated, has lift wad. Ignore report, claim, Maj Doodle, don't use magic to steal. Masquerading Mage, Dying Girl, Celery Dip. Mission from King, top priority. Level number 8, Wooing Wizards. Level 3 and level 4, Rivals by Acne Cream. 2 wrongs don't make a right. Inform IBSC. Revoke is perm. Appeal after 4 years. Thursday is role playing. Cases 12, 13, 15. Tuesday, Don Weeping Hippo. Oh yeah, that's because that's just coming in next week. Okay, now I have to decide what I want to do next. Next up, yeah, I think I'm gonna go to the library. Why not? Library. So this is the vast university library. It is a gloomy place, illuminated only by narrow strips of stained glass windows. The room is ringed by tiny alcoves filled with small statuettes of former university presidents. An almost ladder-like stairs leads up to the stacks. A small sign is mounted at the foot of the stair. A book on the shelf of new arrivals catches your eye. It's a popular new bestseller that you've been interested in reading. So I'm going to save this as library. And let's do some looking. It's been a while since I've looked. So the new thing, there's now books you can look at. The shelves are lined with books on every subject under the sun. There's a pedestal for us to look at. The pedestal supports a small statuette. There's a pillar. You see nothing special about the pillar. Popular book. It's a copy of Endgame Surprises, that hot new novel that everyone's trying to get their hands on. Everyone who's read it says that you can't put it down. What a stroke of luck to find it! So let's take that popular book. And now let's read popular book. You read a few pages. It's very absorbing. Apparently Vincent is still seeing Felicia, but Felicia's husband is accused of murdering the captain's mistress, who is secretly living in a nunnery in Upper Blabber, running a spice smuggling network, and producing erotic sidewalk art for her uncle's lover Sabrina, who is in fact Felicia in disguise, and traveling on a mission of assassination for the Duke's Chancellor, Helmut, who is deeply in debt to none other than Vincent's father, the shipbuilding magnate. It's easy to see why it's such a smash bestseller. Can I read any more of the popular book? No, we can't. Okay. Anyhow, I think that fulfills a purpose later on in the game. The sign. Access to the stacks is restricted to upperclassmen. So you'll remember when I was giving a tour, I tried to go up, and what happens is a library nymph materializes and hovers nearby. You're not getting up these stairs, punk! The stacks are restricted to upperclassmen! Try again next year, kid! Tweaking your nose, the nymph vanishes. And there's like a bunch of nymphs throughout this game that you can attract the attention of. Let's look at the statuette. The nearest statuette is probably of some former school president, but any inscription is too worn to read. And let's examine the stairs. They're pretty steep, but otherwise normal. And let's examine the window. Light of every hue seeps through the delicately stained glass. Now, all I have is the bib smell for now, so... I don't know if I have enough time to do the simulation lab stuff, but, why the heck not try? So, simulation lab. As Dr. Batguano, an early president of the school, was fond of saying, of what worth is it to fill these lads with teeming volumes of the theories of magic, only to send them forth into the world and see them scorched to a cinder by a dragon, or sliced into small bits of steaming haggis at their first encounter with a common country rogue. Thus was born the simulation lab, where students could come and test their magic casting skills in practical situations. The simulation lab is a large bare room. A single wooden chair is bolted to the floor in the center of the room. There are exits on the northern and western walls. The time-worn simulation chair sits ominously in the center of the room, unused at the moment. So what we are gonna do is examine things, because you know how I love to examine things. All that really I can examine is the time-worn chair. The chair is old and uncomfortable looking. The dim light casts dark, foreboding shadows across the chair. So now I can sit. Oh, alright, so that gets me right into the thing. As you settle into the hard chair, a disembodied mechanical voice reverberates through the chamber. Student, Eaglebeak, Ernie, freshman class, advisor, auto ticking clock. Begin auto installation of simulation spells. Completed. The simulation will begin in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Far side of moat. A deep moat, its banks lined with razor-sharp rocks, forms a barrier to the south. An ancient tree leans over the moat. In happier surroundings, you can imagine children tying a hefty rope to its lowest branch and swinging into the water. Alrighty, I'm actually going to leave it for the next game. Well, first I'm going to save this as, simulate. Alright, so until next time we're going to try and beat this simulation. I'll see you then.